What do you really want in a friendship? The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. So many people are looking for more connection, a feeling that they connect to people, a feeling that they are seen, heard, and valued. As we age, it becomes increasingly difficult to connect with people. Some people have fallen away. Some people have naturally moved into different phases of life, and we don't have as much in common. What I find interesting is, how do you want to connect to people? And I think that's where there are varying degrees of differences here. We connect through different ways. We connect through different behaviors. And even when I look at myself and some of my close friends, we connect on different topics and interact in different ways. Are you simply looking for someone to hang out with on the weekends, go to a couple of events, have a couple cocktails, where the main goal is to have fun? Is that what you're looking for? Or are you looking for someone who can help you decompress from the stresses in your life? And instead of getting angry or upset with the people around you who don't act like they want to connect with you, maybe look at, what are you asking and wanting and needing of your close connections? Sometimes we use these people who are closest to us to decompress from the stresses of our life, meaning we want to complain for an hour about what isn't working in our life, instead of talking about a shared interest, a shared hobby, a shared passion. I have been trying to construct a message about friendship, and it's taken me a while. It's taken me a while to look at it and figure out, how do I want to talk about this? I think being a good friend to someone requires us to show up wherever they're at. If someone is needing support, being able to hold space for that person in that moment who is experiencing something and needs support. The tricky part is, how do we continue to show up for someone who requires a high level of support? And it feels like it's only a one-way transaction. I give you support, but you really don't want to give me support. We can get frustrated when people don't show up for us in the ways that we need them to show up. We can also flip that conversation and say, we're all adults here, and we can look at how we lean on other people. Are you like an energy vacuum, and do you show up to the event or the gathering and just expect to unload everything that happened during the week onto this one person who you claim is a friend? How can we show up in better ways so we're not just using the people around us as dumping grounds? How can we process our own stuff without throwing it out onto other people? The other people that we claim are the most important people in our life. When I just look at the dynamics of people right now, it's interesting. There are a lot more single people, for good or bad. A lot of people who are partnered up use their significant other as a sounding board, right or wrong. There are a lot of people who are moving into a different phase of life who don't have the family structures that they once had because we're all getting older, and simply because the family dynamic has changed. We don't just participate in a family because we were born into a family anymore. That obligation seems to have taken a step back. So if we don't have a significant other, if we don't have family, then where are we expressing all of our frustrations? We're expressing them to our friends, our network, the people who are around us now. Is that really how we want to spend our time? Is that really how we want to connect to people? Do we want to connect by processing all of our frustrations in life? Or do we want to connect with people on shared experiences? There are times where people have fallen away in my life, and it's simply because we're at different stages of life. The daily activities that I am performing are very different than your life. And it's really hard to have conversations unless we do have an overlapping shared experience. And as I am noticing how people are showing up to me, I naturally have to go to how am I showing up to other people? How do I connect? On what level am I connecting? What do I expect someone to do for me? And in return, what do I do for them? We can't just show up anymore and organically expect a relationship is just going to grow. I think that is very unrealistic. I do think that it can happen, but at this stage of life, it is going to take intentional cultivation for us to have meaningful relationships, meaningful connections. It's not like we're 5. It's not like we're having a sleepover and eating junk food and candy and just giggling and watching movies. Those days are over for us. And when you look at that, we were connecting on some very basic behaviors. And it was easier because we didn't have the stress of life. We didn't have the stress of a career. We didn't have the stress of our family dynamics and situations. We were simply in the moment, having fun, expressing joy with no other intention. We want to connect with people that we feel like we can trust, people who we feel like we can be open with. And I'm going to push back on that just a little bit and suggest that, one, if we're in the moment and we're living in the moment of our life, does this person need to know every struggle that we experienced for the last 30 years just to know who you are? And two, do we really want to use our precious time on this earth with the people that we do have fun with to use them as a sounding board, as a therapist, as a way to navigate in our life? I think that depends on how much of the time is spent rehashing whatever happened during the week and what is talked about and what is said. Ultimately, I think it's going to require each of us to reflect on, how am I showing up to people? When I show up, do I expect my friends just to sit back and listen to me complain about my life? Or do I connect with my friends on shared passions and purpose? I think it's pretty fair to say that some people have different friends for different interests. I do this with this friend, I do this with this friend, and I do this with this friend. And it doesn't put all of the responsibility on one person, on one individual, to completely emotionally support you. It always comes back to, how are you showing up in the world? What are you expecting of others? And are you willing to be the friend to others that you require? Are you the person who wants to talk about yourself for an hour, and then when your friend says something, you're like, I gotta go? I hear people saying they want more friends, they want to connect to people, they want to feel that connection. But that also requires you to do the work. You have to be the friend that you want. You have to embody those characteristics. You say you want more friends. Can you be a good friend? Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.